nothing else to do now but to go test them. Alright guys, so we're back at the mill, and I was able to test these out on a piece of pine over there, but I've got a piece of red oak cut, and we're gonna really test it on that a little bit better. So here it is. That's how it fits down onto the mill. Let's get the other one in there and see if we can get some lumber out of it. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. That's better. So if you can see this grain, that pretty well puts that grain as vertical to the face of the boards. And what I think I'll do is I'll cut this top triangle off right here, and then I'll start getting boards out of here. And you can see right here, I struggled a little bit when I was quartering this log, but doesn't go all the way through, so it's fine. So after I get to maybe about right here, I think I'll take it off of the jig, flip it over, and I think I'll be able to saw at least one more board out of this right here. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we get. So y'all might have noticed that I kind of made a mistake on this one. This log was not straight, and well, this cant was not straight, and it kind of just made some wonky cuts. But let's just see what that turned out. Then I think I'll do another one. See if we can get it a little bit closer. Yeah, it's probably really not the best log. Looking at it, it's got a lot of knots in it. It is very pretty lumber, but it does have quite a few knots in it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have any problem using that for flooring or something like that, but it's not real good for, you know, it's really not I don't think that would be a real high quality lumber. But we do have quite a bit of quarter sawn grain in there, if you can look at that, those little flecks in there. So I think the jig works. I believe it's going to take some practice to really get proficient with it, but you know, I believe it works. I believe we've got a winner. I'm going to try another cant. Actually, let's go ahead and get a little bit lower here and see what else we got. There we go. Alright, so this can is actually a little bit straighter. I think we'll be able to get some more even boards off of it. So what I want to do, I'm going to assume that this is waste. This triangle right here is waste. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that this right here is going to be my first board. So I'm going to adjust these jigs to so that the grain on these first couple of boards ends up being perfectly vertical with the face of the board. After that, we'll move it to wherever we need it to see if we can get, you know, all of the grain on these boards as vertical as possible. So now with this wedge out of the way, we can start getting our lumber. So I think I can get several boards out of this before I have to adjust again, and then we'll adjust back this way to make that grain go vertical again. Let's get started and see what we can get. So now I think I want to take this log, or this cant rather, and adjust it back this way so that we can start lining that grain up again. So guys, what I decided to do there, if I were to go any lower with the blade, it would start hitting my jigs. So I cut this wedge out right here, and I'm going to turn this cant all the way over so that this is on the bottom, and I'm going to cut another board out of that. And so yeah, I'm going to take the jigs off, and we're going to do that and see how that works. I mean, that's essentially a piece of lap siding right there. So that's it, guys. That method produced 8 boards, which is 2 more than the previous method. So I guess these jigs did help to make it a little more efficient. And I hope that you were able to get a good shot at the grain on those last few shots there. It is some very pretty lumber that was produced out of that. But let's look at what we've learned here. I think that I have learned that the LT10, while it will produce some quarter sawn lumber, it will work you to death in the process. I think your best bet is, instead of using the mill to produce quarters, if you can produce those quarters some other way, maybe with a chainsaw mill or a axe and a wedge, and then put the quarters on the mill, you would do a lot better. And the reason for that is I think you need much bigger quarters to produce decent amounts of quarter sawn lumber. And the mill is just not capable of quartering up large logs. So I think this mill excels at plane sawing, and honestly that's what I'm going to go back to, because this quarter sawing project has kind of taken the joy out of sawmilling for me, and I'm perfectly content with the way plane sawn lumber looks. So I'm glad that I did this. I'm glad I made these jigs. They do work. They do seem to work. If y'all have some suggestions on making them better, please let me know. But I think the quarter sawn experiment of the LT10, for me at least, is probably over. For everybody who's been subscribing lately, I really appreciate your support. The channel has been growing in a big way lately, and I appreciate all the support that y'all have been showing this channel. But besides that, that's all I've got. I hope that y'all will stick around for the next video and hit that like button if you haven't done it. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.